Hey guys, hope you're having a great day today. My name is Daniel and I'm the High Mileage Helper. On this channel, my goal is to be able to help you learn more about the RV transporting industry, as well as give how-to videos for your truck, and then give recommendations along the way. And so if this is our first time meeting, just consider subscribing, hitting that like button if you got good value. And in today's video, I wanted to be able to share with you my top 10 things that I've learned over the last 4 years in this industry and how that can help you, and we'll get right into the video. So one of the very first things that I learned when I first started driving commercially was to listen to your body. That's going to be number one. If your body's telling you to get off the road, if you're sleepy, understanding your body when it's trying to tell you something that's important, that's number one. That took a long time to really grasp and see that it was even a thing. At first, I'll just push through it. I'll just keep driving. Got to get to that 11 hours a day. Understand, you can't always go 11 hours a day. If your body's saying, "Listen, I'm sick, I'm hurting, I'm sore, I need to just be off of the road, get beat up on the road all the time, potholes, crazy things, my back hurts, I didn't get good sleep last night, I need more sleep tonight." So that means, guess what? You need to shut it down. Listening to your body is number one. If you're not listening to your body, and that can be a process. I remember thinking, this is no big deal. And at 4 years now, I'm thinking, dude, you tell me what you want, I'll give it to you. As long as I'm safe and on the road, another time, that's great. I need to listen to my body first and foremost, because if I'm not going to be safe out on the road. Other people aren't going to be safe, and that's on me. And so listening to your body is critical for you when you're out on the road driving. Number two is going to be, it's a simple thing, but you need a two-step ladder. This is something I learned fairly early on. I've got a dually, and so reaching over the bed or the tailgate, grabbing tools, grabbing batteries and all those things, and it's just it can really break your back. And hooking up a fifth wheel, standing on the tires is what I did before. But the truth is, just buy a two-step ladder. I'm telling you right now, spend the money, however much it is so worth it. I am 27, and it is incredible that a two-step ladder can make such a huge difference. When I'm getting stuff in the bed, doing anything like that, it's a huge thing to have. So number three is going to be, you get what you pay for, usually. Buying parts, buying cheap options for parts. I've really learned that the hard way. I would say several times, but if you had to keep learning the lesson, you probably didn't learn the lesson. So I think finally now I've learned the lesson of buying cheap parts means, okay, you save some money in the short term, but you're going to be down here in the thick of it again, replacing the same parts a lot quicker than you would have if you just bought the stronger, more expensive parts. And so you get what you pay for usually. That's a thing that I've really had to learn the hard way, and hopefully that can help you from not cheaping out when it's too easy to do that. Number four is going to be making a proper pre-trip and making sure it's done right, that everything's secure, nothing's loose, nothing's hanging, everything's tight. That's really the price of your bond fee, or potentially a police report. If you got in an accident, that's worth a lot of money. It takes a short amount of time to do, hooking up a trailer, but the truth is, if you try to rush these things, if you just think, I've done this a million times, so I'm just going to slap it together, well, that's probably going to be the time when you go through a major headache. You lose your bond. You have to pay, if you were negligent, you have to pay some type of citation or something. If you got in an accident, it's a major deal. So making sure you slow down and do a proper pre-trip, that is going to be huge for you. That's number 4. The fifth thing that I've learned the most really in the last 4 years is those last miles at the end of the day when you're maybe already tired. Your nerves are shot because crazy people are on the road. You've had to avoid 20 accidents. Crazy FedEx drivers are all over the place, throwing their second and third trailer around the road, nearly clipping you. I know a guy who that almost happens on a regular basis. But those last miles when you're already just toast, when it's dangerous. You're out on the road and it's snowing, it's dark, there's ice, anything weather-wise. It's those last miles that you just had to get to. That was your plan, and you're gonna force it there. You're gonna make it work. I just got to tell you, it's not worth it. Those last miles, whether it's 20 miles, 5 miles, 100 miles, does not matter. It is not worth losing your life, hurting other people. It's just not worth it. It's another part of just being safe, making sure that you're not putting yourself or anybody else in danger. And so those last miles are not worth it. I'm telling you. The sixth thing that I've learned along the way, really this is just an overall picture, is that you can't run your business because you are running a business out on the road. Whether you have your own DOT number, you're running your own business like that, or you're underneath someone else's DOT number, their authority, you are running a business. And so for you, if you are supposed to be running your business, you can't run it. This is number 6. You can't run your business like the government runs itself. And I know I'm probably stepping on a lot of toes by saying this, but the truth is you can't get away in this business with not planning things out, with not having a budget, without planning for the future, without going through these things that you have to understand tomorrow will come. Parts will break. You will be on the side of the road. There will be problems. It's guaranteed of that. And so you can't run your business like the government does, spending as if tomorrow never comes, because it will. And it will be very ugly, potentially crippling you with your business to where your business is done. You have no truck left. You have so many bills. You've spent money on all these things that you really don't need, and you haven't stuck to the basic foundation principles. You got to run it like a business. Money in, money out, and you have a budget, and you're saving money for the future. That's how it has to operate. So number 6, again, you can't run your business like the government. Number 7, you need other drivers. I'll say it again. You need other drivers out on the road. You need a community of people. There are several different communities on Facebook. I'm sure there's some forums. There are tons of people who want to connect and want to ask questions, get help, who want to give help. I'm one of them. I want to give what I do know. I don't know everything, but I want to give what I have so that you can be better off, so that you don't do what I have done, and you can be much further ahead than I ever could be back at that time. So for you need other drivers. Here's just a small example. This saved me a ton of money, which it's not just about money, but it's just a community. When that happens, things work out. I just broke down recently. I've got, it seems like 100 videos on it now, but I've got several videos on my transfer case blowing up. I reached out to a bunch of people on my Facebook groups that I'm in for RV transporting groups. I'm in like 4 or 5 of them. I reached out to all of the Ram 6-7 Facebook groups that I'm in, who they're not doing transport, but they're all around the country. There's thousands of them, and potentially they might be willing to help me. Also, you guys as well. Had a ton of you guys reached out to me and were such a help. I saved so much money. I had so much encouragement. I had a game plan. I had good information to go off of. I was not alone. I was at a Walmart alone, but I was not alone. And so you need other drivers. You need to get connected now before your blow up happens, before you're on the side of the road. You have no idea what's going on. You need other drivers. Along with number 7 comes number 8. And number 8 is misery loves company. And I say that because along with those groups, with people, with other drivers, oftentimes there are those who have a pretty bad attitude about the situation, whether it's a good situation or a bad situation. They just have a bad attitude, and they love being miserable. They enjoy it. If they're not miserable, they don't know what to do. And so they always have a nasty comment. They have a discouraging thing about the industry or really anything. They just find ways. And so for you, when you meet other drivers and you come across some bitter folks who are just upset at this company and that company, and they're all just and they just foam at the mouth. Stay away from them. Misery loves company. Don't be that company. Don't be with those folks who are just haters. First of all, you don't want to have that reputation. And they're going to suck the life out of you. It's going to bring you down. I've had conversations with guys at truck stops all over the country, and there's some folks who legitimately they love being haters. They love hating life, hating the industry, hating everything. Don't be a part of that. Don't put yourself in that position where literally you're drained and just like exhausted at the end of the day after talking to those people. It's not worth it. Misery loves company. Don't be the company. Number 9 is that there is no place like home. Maybe I'm different than you. Maybe we're the same, but at the end of the day, I've run maybe year 2 or year 3. I ran the hardest I had ever done, and even since then, the wheels never stopped turning. Just about everything was legal, but literally, I was always gone, always gone. And I got to tell you, my personal relationships suffered with people. My family suffered. My body suffered. I was hurting. I was sick often. Just a lot of different things. There's no place like home, man. You need to stay home at some point, sometime. You need to be home, be with your family, relax, get some rest. You are not Superman, and you need to be able to get some good rest, some good time with your people. If you make all the money in the world and your whole family falls apart, your friendships fall apart because you're never there. You're not talking to them. You're not doing anything with them. How can you create memories? How can you grow in a relationship when you are just gone? So that's a huge, huge thing for me. I have intentionally chosen to make less money so that I can be home more often, so I can keep my relationships thriving, have deeper friendships, get better rest, all these things. There's no place like home. You need to be home. Spend time with your family, with your friends. Be home. And last but not least, number 10 on my top 10 things I've learned in this industry after the last 4 years is that you need God. I need God. When I first started this 4 years ago, man, I didn't realize what I was really getting into. I was just clueless in a lot of things, and I experienced so many problems, so many trials. I've had the most discouraging things happen in the last 4 years in this industry. I've had the biggest problems I've faced in life. I'm not that old, but it's been the most painful 4 years of my life, having to learn, having to grow. I don't have an option to just, I have to keep going. And so in these 4 years, my recognizing my need for God, the dangers that I've gone through out on the road. The last 4 years have been the most dangerous years of my life, and yet God has protected me. God has led me. God has delivered me from so many problems on the road, so many trials, answers to prayer that you wouldn't believe me if I told you. Like, it's crazy things. And my need for God is more apparent to me than ever before. And so for you, this is my top 10 list. Maybe others have different top tens, but for me to you, because I care about you, the last thing for me, the most important thing of all this on the list is my need for God. What God first did on the cross for me. Christ died and paid for my sins. He beat death and rose again, and I can have a home in heaven and a relationship with Him now. I can have fellowship with God now. My relationship with Him starts now, and so for me, it's just a no-brainer. I so much more value my relationship with God now than when I did 4 years ago, because I see the gap in my life. I see the problems. I see all these things that I just can't do it alone. There's not another person in the whole world who can take care of me like how God can, how He can encourage me, how He loves me. And so for me to you, this is my last thing. You need God in your life. If you've ever would like to talk about this point, talk about God, email me, contact@HighMileageHelper.com. Listen, I'm not here to yell at you and hit you with a Bible in the head. That's not my heart. But my heart is to give truth to you and to love you and to show that in action. And so that's my desire, is to just share that with you. And hope this whole list was a help to you. And these are just some silly things and some serious things that can make or break you. And so if this was an encouragement to you, if this helped you, just consider hitting the like button. That'd be great. Subscribing if you got good value and want to have more of my content. And until next video, stay safe, God bless, and we'll talk later.